Gareth will be talking you through it, and there's a lot of mayhem. It's a very, very determinedly, deliberately different film from the first one. And that's partially because this was something you were working on before The Raid came along.
Yeah. So originally, I had an idea for something that was very, very different, even from The Raid 2 in a way. It was going to be, I was massively influenced by Japanese cinema, and so I started writing this thing that was kind of about, Iko was still a kid back then, right? So we just did Miranda, so Iko still was super baby-faced at the time, so we were going to do sort of like a Japanese-style delinquent school type movie where, like Blue Spring or whatever, that would have been him going into like, being recruited into criminal elements and stuff like that. That was the original storyline for it. And then he ends up in prison and blah, 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 and then the story would pan out. And then when that just couldn't get the funding to make that film, because it cost a lot more than what we had in terms of budgets back then. I shelved it, put it aside, rewrote The Raid, we made The Raid, and while we were making The Raid, I started looking at that old idea, the one that got away, and I was like, well, what if it was an undercover cop story instead? What if it wasn't the juvenile delinquent thing? Because The Raid would take us another 2 years, Iko would age, he'd be more mature in The Raid and everything else. And so, while we were shooting The Raid 1, that's when the seed of an idea started coming through, and I was like, okay, well, I could retrofit this script, I could turn it into something different, and then that's what became The Raid 2.
And what was the galvanizing factor? Was it the success of The Raid that made you think, okay, I'm definitely now retooling this?
It was, yeah, I mean, because of the reaction to the first film, suddenly it was like being given carte blanche to go off and do that film. Suddenly it was like a proven model. And we were able to, like, working with guys at XYZ Films, who are our sales agents on the first Raid film, they were able to go back to all of the same distributors that released the first film, and then, offer pre-sales. So then that told us how much money we'd be able to afford to spend on the film, because we knew what our break-even point would be. And so then suddenly we were able to bank those pre-sales, and then get much more money to make this film. So it allowed me to be, it was like a golden ticket opportunity for me to be the most self-indulgent I could possibly be. And when I was watching it there, I was like, fuck me, it was really self-indulgent.